Something borrowed, something blue. Give us all your juicy news, sensational, irrational. It's Wedding Confessionals.
Welcome to another episode of Wedding Confessionals. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Pam.
And the only thing we love more than weddings
is talking shit about weddings.
Oh, are you ready to get into some shit?
Always.
Okay, good.
Heck yeah.
We have our wine.
Yes.
We have
check.
our guests.
Check.
And we have our microphones going.
Check.
We're ready to do this.
All right.
I don't have anything silly to talk about beforehand. Do you?
I don't think so.
Let's dive on in.
Yeah, let's talk about weddings.
Yeah, this is the guest.
Meet our guest.
Yeah, let's meet our guest. Today we have on the show somebody that we've been knowing was going to come on for a while. We finally locked it in. Her name is Korie Steward, and she was on episode 2 of I Want That Wedding. And the episode specifically is called Champagne Dreams or Buffet Budget. Which one are you?
Champagne Dreams.
Oh, okay.
Clearly.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So, Korie, I watched the episode, as
Yay.
did Pam. So, if you guys haven't watched it, the second episode. And now you're coming on post-wedding.
Yes, post-wedding.
Yeah, because I was really excited to learn that, one, you're on the show, so it was really fun. And then also the fact that now we're going to get, like, the end result.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it was TBD at the end of the episode.
Yes, all the details.
Yeah. So before we get to that, though, we're going to kind of jump back because we start every episode. Oh, by the way, welcome to Wedding Confessionals.
Oh, thanks. Great to be here.
The way the show works is that our listeners will send in anonymous confessionals. Sometimes they're rants, sometimes they're questions, sometimes they're wacky stories from the past. Either way, we like to read them. Sometimes we give them advice. Sometimes we just give them our thoughts or whatever. But we always have a guest on to help us. And before we do the confessionals, we like to get to know the guests so we understand your point of view.
Yeah.
So I'm dying to know how we get to Champagne Dreams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we always start way back in the beginning. How old were you when you went to your first wedding?
Oh my gosh. First wedding, I think I was around 7 or 8 years old, and it was my cousin's wedding.
So how many, are you like from a big family?
Very big family. Huge family.
And you're from Houston.
I'm from Houston, Texas.
So like big Southern.
Big Southern, like my grandmother had 7 kids, and then every single one of those kids had 3 or 4 of their own, and it just goes on and on and on.
So you went to a lot of weddings.
Not a lot of actual weddings, though. They may have had a lot of courthouse weddings, but actual full-blown productions, not as many as I probably should have.
So wait, is your family so big that like literally you can't name all the cousins?
Absolutely. 1,000%. Like I see
Right.
people on Facebook and I'm like, they kind of look familiar.
Right.
They're probably one of us. It's fine. It's fine.
So growing up, you went to a couple weddings as a kid. When you get into your like late teens, early into 20s, are you going to more weddings or is it still?
A little bit. It
Yeah.
slowed down a bit. A little bit. I was in a wedding about a couple of years before my actual wedding, which was great practice of like, okay, I'm definitely not doing that.
What things did you learn not to do?
Not to really care much about other people that are in your wedding. Like, oh, I don't want to wear this, or I don't like this color, or my butt looks big in this. Well, you'll deal. So that was kind of my attitude going into it. They had 2 options: you deal or push. I'm fine either way.
Wait, so you were not one of the people that gave a lot of opinions when you were given the dress to wear as a bridesmaid?
No,
you were just
absolutely
watching
not.
other people be
Just-
too much.
Absolutely too much. No, I was just kind of in a corner like, ooh, child. Oh no. So my weddings picked up as I got older. I wasn't in a lot of weddings. I've only been in 2 weddings, but I've been a guest at several weddings. So that was huge for me going into my own of what does the guest feel like, since I've been the guest all the time.
Sure.
So I want to hear about your wedding.
Ooh, wait, I want to
My
know.
actual wedding, like all the
No, let's go back to how you met your husband.
Who's your husband? What's his name?
his name is Chris.
How did you meet Chris?
So when I met him 14 years ago,
Really?
14 years ago, I met Chris, and we met in Texas. He was in Texas going to school. He had just got down there. He was from California. I'm born and raised Houston, Texas, Southern girl. And one of my very best friends that I went to high school with, his name is Richard, brought Chris over. because I was the girl that was always cooking. I had my own spots in college. A lot of people didn't have that. So it was always like, let's go to Korie's house, see what she's cooking. So he brought his friend Chris over, and I hated him. I just, what? Oh my gosh. It was like hate at love at first sight. It was really bad. Like, please do, like, to the point of telling Richard, do not bring him back over here. I do not like him. Oh my gosh. Like, I would be happy never meeting him again.
What did he do that rubbed you the wrong way?
He was very California. Like, he had just got to Texas. So, well, in California, we do this. And in California, this is better. And the weather is this. And okay, well, go back. So, I remember one of the first things I said to him was, no one asked you to be here. We were chucking along just fine until you got here. So, you can go on. We're good. So that was like the first thing I said to him.
How did you steer in a different direction?
Yeah. How did we get to where we are today?
Richard just kept bringing him around, and it was like, oh my gosh. And that was when we were super, super, super young. So going out was everything. Like, it'd be a Tuesday, and we'd be like, where are we going tonight? Right? So it was life. So we would go out a lot to different clubs and bars, and he was always there. So it kind of turned into like this brother-sister thing. And we played that role for about 10 years, actually. We became very, very close to the point where he was literally my best friend.
Yeah.
I actually used to live with his ex-girlfriend.
Really? While they were dating?
While they were dating.
Okay.
So we shared an apartment, and they were dating at the time. He was just a best friend of mine. I told him everything. He told me everything. He told me when I was dating the wrong guy and just all types of stuff.
Every guy was the wrong guy.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh, if I showed you pictures of like me and other guys and Chris, he's like in the picture, like frowning, like, oh, this is stupid. It's hilarious. So we were just best friends for like 10 years. I so friend zoned him. Like, immediately.
Wow.
And then it just got odd, like out of nowhere. He moved back to California, and then he came back to Houston for a birthday party of a mutual friends, and we saw each other there, and it was like kind of like, what are you doing here? Like, why didn't you tell me you were coming? And then it was just awkward. Like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, can I help you with something? It was just very, very odd. And then I know. And then we started dating. And then we dated for maybe 3 months and broke up because he's stupid. But that's fine. If you asked him, he would say it was my fault. I don't remember what happened, but I'm 100% sure it was his fault.
Clearly. I'm sure you're right.
Yes.
I probably am.
Yes.
So yeah, we dated for 3 months and that didn't work.
Wait, was he living in Houston at the time, or was he back in LA?
He was back in LA.
Okay.
So you're doing
long distance
Long
dating.
distance.
It's
Yeah,
very
that's hard.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we finally got it together and decided we were going to like really give the relationship a go, that was in 2015, and we did long distance for a year and a half. And what we did is, and I will tell anyone that's in long distance to try this, is when you start the relationship, and I'm in Texas and he's in California, pick a date, and this is the go date. Like, by this date, someone needs to move. Like, we'll decide then, but either someone moves at this date or we're not doing this. So,
you know what's funny is that I ended up having a long distance relationship with Tristan, my husband. And somebody gave me that exact same advice.
Yeah,
and it's solid. Yes,
it's perfect. And then what we also did is while we were dating, we still had date nights when him in California, me here. So we would get on FaceTime and like watch the same movie. Like, hey, Devil Wears Prada comes on at 7:00 my time, 9:00 your time. Make sure you're watching it. And then we'd be on FaceTime the whole time.
That's really cute.
Yeah, like we looked it up online, like what to do for long distance relationships. We played like games that you can play against each other, like Words Against Friends or like Uno on your phone, and we would play that against each other. We would like cook together, like you make nachos and I make nachos at the same time, and we'll just FaceTime each other, and that was like our date night.
That's really cute.
really creative.
Yeah,
we gave it a shot.
You really have to do, because if you don't, then what do you do? And then we promised that somebody would get to the other person at least once a month. It ended up being more like 2 or 3 times a month. But
yeah,
there was a time that I literally left California and went back to Texas got to my office and was like, this is dumb, and got back on a plane the same day and went back to California. Yeah,
Really? So when did you decide? So you had the end date of when you're going to have to make the decision either way, and you decided on California.
We did. We pulled straws. I lost.
Are you serious?
No, it came to that?
Yeah, we're really we're really playful and kiddie in our relationship. I mean, we were friends for years, so we kind of still have that same vibe, and we don't really take a lot of stuff serious. So when it's big serious decisions like that, we decide to do something really playful, because it kind of takes the edge off the seriousness. And we're like that even now, still like, okay, we can't decide on something, paper, rock, scissors right now. Whoever wins, it wins. It's fair. Like,
I like it.
There's nothing subjective about it. So we pulled straws. I pulled the first straw and I lost. Literally got the short straw on the first pull.
Oh, no. Meant to be.
How long have you been in LA?
So it will be 2 years in December. So about a year, a little bit over a year and a half.
Okay.
I pulled a straw and I moved 3 days later. Packed up my car and just got on the road.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did this without an engagement ring. Like, were you guys talking about
there was mention of it? There was mention of, like, you know, well, we'll do this and maybe we'll look at rings and, you know, look at different properties
that
in
helps
LA.
With the
like
move.
It was kind of like, okay. And I had kind of hit a ceiling in my career in Houston, so I really wanted to come to LA to kind of further that. So it was different. It was a lot of different reasons. Just kind of like, go. And I remember I talked to my daddy, huge daddy's girl, like massive. It's really bad, actually. And my dad said, you know, just go. Worst case scenario, doesn't work out and you just come on back to Texas. But you know, if you don't, then you'll never know. It's not like this huge thing. Just go. So what I did is I packed my car up with just like all my clothes and like personal stuff and my wine, because that was important.
Yeah.
Had like 12.
Yes.
I like this girl.
12, like 12
priorities.
bottles of wine. And my Crate and Barrel wine glasses, because I can't trust those with strangers.
No.
Just that. And I left everything in like one of those pod storages in Houston. I just left it there because I figured, let me see how it goes. And if it works out, I can just call them and say, hey, pod number 7.394, just ship
Send
that
it
bad
over.
boy to LA.
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And it worked out.
That's smart.
Yeah.
So you're in LA. You guys know you're talking about probably getting married or whatever. Did he propose to you or did you propose to him?
He proposed.
Was
to
it
me.
a shock or did you guys kind of talk about getting married?
We had talked about it. It was a shock in that moment. I did not know it was coming at all. We were at home. I was literally fussing at him for leaving socks on the floor. Like, I think I was semi going off. Like literally, I think I was like, I don't work for you. I don't understand what's happening.
He's like, Mayday, pull out the
well,
ring.
in California, we leave our socks everywhere.
I don't know what y'all do in Texas, but the dogs running around. It was just like a lot going on. We were trying to leave the house, and I walked out the restroom, and he was just on one knee, and I was like, "Oh, okay, this is happening. This is happening." Like, okay,
way to end and win an argument.
Yeah.
And it was really, really sweet. His mom was there, and she had her phone out, and I originally thought she was just filming it. And at the end of the proposal, she came up to me and turned her phone around, and she had all of my best friends from Texas, like in an on FaceTime, and they're like all crying and like, oh my God, Korie. It was super sweet. It was just very us. I had got some type of inclination that he was probably going to propose sometime soon because he was always stressed out and I can read him like a book. And I told him, we were at Chili's because that's our spot, like date night.
Love
yeah.
it.
Like for sure. $60, good to go. And I told him, hey, if you're stressing out about something really big and important and trying to make something super perfect and don't just do something that's just us, like, because it's not gonna, what means more if it's what we normally are. And we're very simple people. Like, again, Chili's is like our Saturday date night, go all out. That's who we are. So like, if you do something that's like over the top, it's cute, it's romantic, but it's not really us. So, and from that moment on, I saw him kind of just take a breath, and like a few months went by and then he proposed.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
So you got the ring on your hand.
Yeah.
And then you have to start planning a wedding.
Night of, I started planning.
Really?
Because I'm that girl. Yeah. Like, I was on Google, like, typing in things like biggest wedding venue in Houston, like crazy. Night of.
So wait, so he's from California. You live in Texas.
Yes.
You recently moved to LA for him.
Yes.
But for the wedding, were you like, we got to have it in Texas?
We were pretty sold on Texas, mainly because I loved California's like visually. It was beautiful. We could find something gorgeous here, but family is very, very important to us. And he has 2 surviving grandparents and I have 1. And my grandmother could not travel at all. So 100% of the reason why we did it in Texas was so that my grandmother could attend.
That's nice.
If she had passed on by, then we would have did it in California. But we set his grandparents up very nice, got them there comfortably. So his grandparents came to Texas.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how much time between proposal to actual wedding date?
14 months.
Okay.
Yeah, 14 months.
So you figured out, okay, we're going to do it in Houston.
Yep.
Then did you have to fly back and look at a bunch of locations, or were you like, since a little girl knew like of a place?
I didn't know of an exact place, but I knew exactly what I wanted in a place. I had my list of I'm not going to compromise on, and I knew that I wanted everything in one location. Because of past weddings I've been to as a guest, I'm like, so I have to get in my car and like go somewhere else, like, So the ceremony's over, and then I have to drive like across town. Like that's tacky. That's just me. But I was very big on that, and I was very big on wanting the guests to feel catered to. So things like valet and making sure I had security and beautiful, surroundings. Everyone wants to take a selfie nowadays, so I needed good selfie imagery.
Really think of everybody. That's
Yeah.
So it really kind of narrowed down the venues in Texas to like a few venues, like 2 or 3. And I didn't visit any but one venue. We only went to one venue. I saw a lot online. I talked to a few venues on the phone. They sent me their, brochures and whatnot, but we only went to one, and that's the one we went with.
Wow.
It's gorgeous.
And how big was your wedding?
So we had 154 guests. However, we could have had a lot more. We had 2 ballrooms. And the first ballroom we had could hold 500 guests.
Oh my goodness.
And then the second one could hold 400 guests. So we could have had a lot more.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a beautiful, it was just a crazy, beautiful venue. It's gorgeous. So
Wow. Did you guys try to figure out the guest list? Was there like a debate, or did you just invite?
Yeah.
Oh,
The guest list. Ooh, the guest list.
Yes.
When I tell you the guest list was an issue from the night of proposal all the way until, I kid you not, I am in my wedding dress in the bridal suite.
Day
of, literally on the phone, still filling seats.
what?
I'm telling you, I refused to be that bride that is on social media like, we had 15 people not show up and blah, blah. I refused. I was like, I am going to do everything in my power to fill every canceled seat until I can. And I was literally filling seats before I walked out.
Was it people like RSVP no at the last minute, or just not responding?
Yeah, it was people that said they were coming and then texting last minute like, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it.
The idea of texting a bride on her wedding day with anything other than, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Like,
see you
honestly, get out of here.
It's the tackiest. Oh, and these are people that we no longer communicate with. Like, Chris had to stop me from like going to some of their houses before we left for honeymoon. He was
This
like,
is
"It's."
the final text.
I'm like, put it in the Google map. I know where they live. Pull up the invitation addresses.
Well, we
the
had
address.
a listener write in a confessional that she was 2 to 3 weeks away from her wedding, and she was having 300 people at her wedding, and literally half of them had not
I would
responded.
just lay on the ground.
I mean, honestly.
But we were and I would tell any bride and groom, we were very, very adamant of texting, calling. So what does your dress look like? Hey, can't wait to see you. Hey, see you on Saturday. Like, because you'll get messages back like, oh, I'm so glad you texted me. I'm not going to be able to make it. Oh, okay. Good to know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's not like it's,
Follow up.
yeah, it's not like it's $300 a head. That's cool.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
Yeah, no
it's
biggie.
nothing.
No biggie.
Only it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Probably just cost us our friendship, but that's fine.
So wait, so you had a decent sized wedding.
Yes.
Did you have a bridal party?
We did. So we had 10 bridesmaids and 10 groomsmen and 2 ushers.
Nice.
Wow.
Big
Big
bridal party.
bridal
Yeah.
party.
Big Southern wedding party for sure.
Who was pushing for a lot of people? Was it you? Did you have like, I have all these cousins?
Yeah.
Was it all the cousins?
There was actually no cousins
What?
in my wedding party.
Okay.
And it's so funny because I am the girl that I never thought that I would have a lot of bridesmaids because I'm kind of rude. Let's just throw that out there, put that on the table. Yeah, I'm really kind of like, ooh, don't want to be friends with you anymore. So I never thought that I would
just
have
tactful.
a lot. I know.
That's
It's like,
fine. You're blunt.
yeah. I just feel like, I work in HR. I'm kind of direct. Like, ooh, this friendship thing, not really working. So, so I never thought I would have a lot. And then when I got engaged, I was like, oh my God, so who are y'all? Like, but okay, cool. Let's roll with it. And I ended up having 10. So it was me. It was probably definitely me. And then it just kind of worked out that he had 10 guys as well.
That's cool.
So
Yeah.
it ended up being great.
Did a lot of his family come out, or was it like by having it in Texas, it was like more your side than his side?
Yeah, there was definitely more of my side than his side of family. But then again, his family is a lot smaller than mine.
Okay.
So his entire immediate family came out. Aunts, uncles, cousins, they all came.
Yeah.
Grandparents. The great thing is since we've been friends for so long, forever, we have pretty much the same mutual friends.
Oh, yeah.
So that
helps.
really helped out on the guest list. It was like, hey, are we inviting Jessica? Oh, okay. We're not inviting Jessica. Oh, okay. Like so it kind of worked out. And then we had a policy that I adore called no ring, no bring.
Yeah.
Meaning you cannot meet the chick you just met at Chipotle last week and just bring her to my wedding. That's not going to work. You can't just bring the random girl from the club last week to my wedding. If you're not engaged or married, they can't come. Or if they are a boyfriend or girlfriend, if we know them, then that's different.
Yeah.
But
then that's a relationship with that person.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so
that's
that
different.
was actually kind of interesting when we sent invitations out. People were like, well, what about sorry, we don't know who that is.
Right.
You got to do it.
Oops.
You have a budget.
Yeah, and it's expensive, like per head. And I don't think people really fully understand that. They think that they do, but they don't. Absolutely don't.
Not until they go through a wedding.
You know who understands budgets and head counts? Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She's at the door. She's ready to come in.
Is that her?
Hey, girl. Oh, and then she runs away.
She's like, I'm over it. Bye.
Ruthie, you coming? Oh, whatever.
She's over it. It's fine.
She is.
We lost her.
So bringing it up to a positive topic.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about something fun. I want to talk about your dress. So you have this big, beautiful ballroom.
Yes.
In Texas.
Yes.
I am dying to know what kind of dress you wore.
Definitely a big, beautiful ball gown.
You went the ball gown.
Went ball gown.
Yes.
For sure. Like, and I knew going into it, people were like, you've got to do mermaid because you just have such a mermaid body. And I'm like, girl, big dress, big hair, big boobs, let's big it up. So
everything's bigger in Texas.
Body.
Yes.
What does that mean?
The what?
What's the mermaid body? Like, what
The
do you have
mermaid, that's the one that, the mermaid dress. So I guess they feel like if you're a curvy woman or if you have like the hourglass shape
Got
that
it.
you should put a mermaid. I tried some on. They were cute.
Yeah, but you wanted
Yeah.
that
You didn't feel
princess
Full on
life.
ball gown.
Yeah.
Yes. And then my reception room had like one of those grand staircases from like Beauty and the Beast. So I can't walk down that without a big tulle dress on. I mean, like what? So it was pretty big.
That's awesome. Did
Yeah.
you love it?
I loved it. I loved it. I did not love traveling through the airport with it. That was fun.
Because you bought it out here.
Yeah, I had to buy it out here, get it altered out here, and then get it to Texas. And I definitely wasn't going to ship it. So
How did you fly? Wait, was it a carry-on or was it?
I bought her a ticket.
What?
I bought her a ticket, and I was going to put her right next to me and kind of buckle her in, but I had some really, really great flight attendants, and they found a place for her to go. So it was perfect.
I love that
Oh
it's a
my
her.
god, her.
Yeah,
Yes.
her? Oh, yes.
Okay, so my question is, how does one buy a ticket for a dress?
So I asked a lot of people how I should do this. We're a big Southwest family. So I thought I asked a lot of flight attendants. I know a lot of people that work for the airline. And keep in mind, we were going to Texas like once a month.
Yeah,
for this
sure.
wedding.
Yeah,
Season
you're
traveler.
planning.
Definitely. We had food tasting and cake tasting and have to look at the venue and get the vendors together. And I am super, super like organized and planning. So probably got on everyone's nerves. So every time we traveled, I'd be like, hey, by the way, getting married in 7 months, like talking to the TSA agents, like how does this thing go through security? So I was well, equipped before I went in the airport. So it worked out good. Thank
So you
goodness.
just buy a ticket for the dress. Does
And then
it
come to find out I didn't even need it. I probably didn't even need it. Yeah. Southwest, again, great. company.
Yeah.
They refunded me the money.
That's so nice.
At the gate, when I got to the gate and I was talking to the people at the gate and letting them know, they were like, you didn't need to take it, for we would have took care of you. So they refunded me the money right there.
Did they drag that dress through the x-ray machine?
No, so you can opt out of that, and they did have to open her up in the middle of the airport. I made Chris walk away, and I was like shaking the whole time. Like, oh my God,
no peeking.
This is happening. This is happening. But they were very gentle. They kept it on a table. They were very, very nice. And it kind of just goes back to, if you're nice to people, they'll be nice back to you.
That's cool. Yeah,
But
nobody wants to ruin somebody's wedding gown.
I know.
Yeah.
Wait, did you do the same thing for the flight back?
For the flight back, I didn't have to worry about it because
you already
I ordered a restoration kit. I would tell any bride to get one of these babies. It is amazing. I got mine from David's Bridal. It's like $200. And what you do is you just, after your wedding, you just put the dress in this box. It's already pre-labeled and shipped, and just drop it off at any UPS. And you ship it off to, I think it's called Memory Gowns. They clean it, they dry clean it, they fix anything that's, broken, and then they package it up into this like airtight box. They personalize it, so it has like my name and wedding date on it, and then they mail it back to me. So by the time I got back home from my honeymoon, it was already there.
What?
Oh,
And it's
that.
this huge dress is in this small box now, and I just slide it under the bed, and it's clean. I don't have to worry about it. It's good to go.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I would tell anybody to
Wow.
get the
That is
restoration
cool. I like that idea.
kit. Good idea.
It's like vacuum packed.
Yeah,
right?
it is, but I can see it through the little glass, and it's super clean. Because no matter how beautiful your venue is, that dress is going to be filthy. Sure, it's going to be gross. So it's
Drags
good
on
to
the
have.
ground.
And I
There's
actually
no
got
way.
it as a gift. Somebody gave it to me as a gift, and I was like, "Oh,
The restoration
the
thing?
restoration kit."
That's a really cool gift.
That
Yeah,
is
it's a
good
great
gift.
gift.
That's a great gift. I like that a lot. One more question that I dying to know before we get to best and worst. West and burst.
Same
Best
thing.
and worst.
Same thing.
Yeah. Is that you were talking earlier about how, you went to culinary school and clearly you're a really good cook.
Yes.
You have a really, sophisticated palate. How did you go about picking out food and cake and everything for your wedding if you're somebody that already has like really good taste? I'm guessing this was very important to you.
It was huge. It was massive, and it was something that I thought very long and hard about before we booked a venue. I knew going into it that I wanted to pick a venue that handled food themselves. I didn't want to have to find an outside caterer and have to deal with, is the food here yet? And I didn't want to do that. I wanted a venue that did it all. And this venue just so happens to have a really, really good chef that I had learned about when I was in culinary school. So I had already knew who the chef was. So that was great.
That's helpful.
Very helpful. So we did a food tasting. The venue put it on. They actually did alcohol and wine tasting as well. That was super important.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Very.
is.
We were like, I can't remember how Jack Daniels tastes. Can I just have a sample of that? I can't remember. It's been so long.
Belvedere?
I
Which
know.
one's that
Which is that, the clear one? Yeah. So that was super important. Super important. But they brought us out all types of different salads and entrees and everything. But the great thing about my venue is that they were super helpful if we wanted to mix things up, which I did. So there was like a chicken dish that I loved, but I hated the sauce. It looked like throw up. I was like, the sauce is good, but to the eyes, it looks gross. But I love the sauce on this beef dish. So put that sauce on this chicken, add some bacon and some butter to the green beans. Let's pipe the potatoes out and maybe torch them like a creme brulee. That'll be pretty. Hated all of the salads. So I kind of created my own salad. They were super, super down for anything I wanted to do.
Wow,
So that was perfect. Cake tasting, the cake.
Oh,
Because that came up on the show.
The most important thing about the wedding. It's very important. Originally, I wanted an 8-tier cake, and then I was on Snapchat one day, and then some random girl that I don't know got married, and she had an 8-tier cake, and I felt like it was a challenge. So I called my cake girl, and I said, this girl on Snapchat has an 8-tier cake, so I need a 10-tier cake. So let's make that happen. Because she challenged me. I felt like it was a personal...
Did she actually challenge you, or did she just have an image on the internet?
It's subjective.
yes.
It's subjective. I just I felt personally attacked by it. I really did. And I called my cake girl at like 11 p.m. and said, listen, lady, 10 tiers.
2 more.
10 tiers. Let's just add those suckers on.
How tall is a 10-tier cake
on
a table?
That cake was massive. It was very, and then I had another idea because, Pinterest is the devil. I got on there and thought, how cute would it be if we put flowers in between some of the tiers? Let's make it bigger. Why not?
Sure.
And then we did the cake tasting. Loved all the flavors she gave me. And she was saying, oh, you have to pick 1 or 2. We picked 3. So we had 3 flavors for our cake. And we went very unconventional. Like, usually you have like a vanilla cake. So our vanilla cake was a cinnamon sugar cake with a cinnamon sugar buttercream.
Yeah.
We love any and everything lemon. Like, it's really bad in my household. There's lemons everywhere. So we had a lemon cake. And then we had a chocolate cake with a white chocolate raspberry ganache. It was really good.
Heck yeah.
All in one
Sounds
cake.
amazing.
So we didn't have a groom's cake because the big cake was enough.
Could you imagine? You're like, we still need more cake.
More cake.
We need more cake, please. And I thought about even getting like these to-go cake boxes because they're super cute and I want everything cute. And my cake girl was like, trust me, there won't be any cake left. And sure enough, there was no cake left.
Really?
10 tiers?
All gone.
Oh my gosh.
It was all gone. It was so good. It was amazing.
That sounds damn good.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll show you pictures later.
I don't know why I bring up cake. Now I want cake.
I'm really hungry. Yes.
And I didn't eat either at my wedding.
You did.
But I chose not to because my dress was so big. When we started thinking about like sweetheart table decor, we had a stage with a velvet background and thrones. I mean, it's just who I am. So when we
Champagne
started
dreams.
champagne dreams. So when we started thinking about the sweetheart table, I was like, how in the heck am I supposed to get around that thing dressed like a marshmallow? That's not going to work. And then I started thinking about, well, when am I going to have time to eat? Because that's the time when my guests are eating that I would like to get some of the politics out the way, the first dance, the father-daughter dance, the toast, so we can get to the party. So I just decided we're not going to eat it all. So scratch the whole sweetheart table. We didn't have a sweetheart table. We had thrones on a stage.
Did Chris eat?
So Chris scarfed down full like the garbage disposal he is.
They will find a way.
As soon as we walked down the aisle, like after the ceremony, we had such a great, the venue really was everything. And the wedding planners and coordinators were everything. As soon as they put us back in our room after we said I do, his food was already there. My makeup artist was there to redo my makeup. We had champagne, so it literally took him 3 minutes to eat. I think I stole a green bean.
So you barely ate.
Yeah.
And now we get to the party portion of the wedding.
Yeah.
Are you drunk at your wedding?
Oh, I was lit before the wedding. I had been drinking all day. I had been drinking all day. They kept champagne in my hand the entire time. They were like, "Oh, Korie, your glass is getting a little empty." I'm like, "It's really not, but okay." Yeah, we definitely got our money's worth of the liquor at this wedding. We drunk them under a table. Good times.
I like it. What is the name of the venue?
It's called the Bell Tower on 34th.
Okay, cool.
Amazing.
Shout out to them. We'll put a link because you have rave reviews. So.
Yes, they are really, really great. They did a great, the entire 14 months, they were amazing. So
that's awesome. Oh my God. Well, I feel like we definitely know what Korie feels about weddings.
Well, we want to hear the best and
Oh my
worst,
God.
though. We
Thank
can't.
God you're here, Pam.
Let's not skip over
breeze
that.
through our number one thing all the time. Pamela, please take over. Pamela, take the wheel.
Let's hear it. What was the best and the worst part of the whole wedding process?
Maybe we'll do negative first, right? So we end on a positive note.
Sure. All right. What was the
like,
worst?
From getting engaged to planning the day of, maybe the day after, maybe it's like doing the like thank you notes.
Yes.
What was like the number one thing that you were just like, oh, fuck this?
oh my gosh, there were so many.
Top 3.
I had to kick a maid of honor out of my wedding. That was good times.
Oh.
She went from maid of honor to bridesmaid to, hey girl, this is just not working. Completely.
Yikes.
That was good times. Oh my gosh. There were so many. I just can't tell you. Like, every bride is going to walk into her reception room and think, oh my God, this is beautiful. But this is not exactly what I said. Like, so there were a few things I was like, not what I said, but okay, it still looks nice. No one knows but me.
Yeah.
So like the little things like the centerpieces, I was like, okay, those tables look great. Those tables look crappy, but everyone here thinks they looks great. So whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm super anal like that. So or whatever. I didn't have, to be honest, I really didn't have that many bad moments. The maid of honor thing was a trip. It really was a trip.
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
big.
This is really happening. We had a best man as well. He just went ghost out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah, we had more people issues than actual
Yeah.
wedding issue. It's the people. People. Make sure you're picking the right people for your wedding because they will ruin it for you. They really will. So yeah, we had this best man and he was in and he was down for it. Everything was great. And then he just went ghost out of nowhere. Wouldn't respond to messages, calls, anything. But we see him on social media. So we know you're alive.
That's weird.
Don't want to answer anyone. Okay. So it kind of worked out. He lost a best man. I lost a maid.
It's all even.
It's all
Still
even.
even.
It's like, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Good times. But yeah, it was the people part. Like, and getting people to understand the dress code was the biggest thing. Formal.
What was your it was formal?
Formal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cover your kneecaps.
Yeah.
Cover them.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to tell everyone, think prom. Think prom.
Yeah.
Wear your
Yeah.
prom dress if you want to.
Sure.
Depending on what kind of prom you had. But think prom. The biggest what the hell moment of the wedding was we had someone sneak in.
Oh.
You had a crasher?
We had a crasher and it was so freaking hilarious because he stood out like a sore thumb. Like he had a fedora on and like a short sleeve linen shirt. Sir, who in the hell are you?
Oh, so did he know anybody there?
No.
Did you
he
kick him out?
Yeah, we did. So I went up to him. I was like, so who are you? I mean, he had a drink in his hand. He was having a ball, honey.
My God, to have a bride walk up to the crasher. That's
Hey guy,
great.
who are you? Who are you? And he was like, oh, so sorry, I missed the ceremony. Again, who are you?
Yeah, you didn't answer the
Yeah.
question.
Didn't answer, and then took pictures. Like when I got my wedding pictures back, he's like in pictures, like posing. Guy, who the hell?
No.
I'm so serious. We were like, I put him on Instagram. It was like, does anyone know who this young man is? Because he clearly had a good time and enjoyed the open bar. So
Was your wedding venue a structure that could have more than one event going on at the same time? Did
yes,
he sneak
they
over
could,
from something
but,
else?
But they didn't have anything else going on the other time. It really seems like he snuck in, like the reception room had like a front door that people could leave out of if they want to go smoke a cigarette or something.
Yeah.
So it looks like he came through that door. Clearly he didn't belong. He had like his car keys in his hand. Sir, we had valet. What is happening? That's what made him stand out. He has keys in his hand.
I like that you're like an inspector.
I know.
Yep.
I'm like,
I love it.
At 2:00, who is that? No, everything. Like honestly, everything was pretty great. It's just the people. The people can really ruin it for you.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, I'm a bridezilla without being a bridezilla. Like I'm fearful without screaming at people. Although I did scream. Sometimes you just got to go a little louder.
Oh, I mean, I get it.
Sure.
But and on a high note, what was the number one best thing?
Yeah.
What was the best moment of your wedding? Was there like a moment during the night where you were like, yes?
It was probably our entrance into the ceremony, into the reception. Our wedding entrance, the whole wedding party's entrance. So what we decided to do, and we actually learned this from one of the weddings we went to, is we decided to have our wedding party come out and to different songs, but not tell them what songs they were coming out to, and pick songs based on like their personalities or if there was favorite songs. So they're walking down again this glorious staircase.
Yeah.
So they're walking down the staircase listening like, what is the song? What is the song?
Yeah.
And then the song comes on and they go crazy. And it is the best part. It is truly
That's really fun.
Party. When they come down the stairs, they have glow sticks and it's just a really good time. And then when me and Chris come out, our wedding, just even our wedding guests, like they really did come to party. Like by the time we got to the end of the stairs, everyone was out of their seats. They were like standing, like, why are y'all over here? Why are y'all not at your tables eating? The food is out. Why? What is happening? That was probably the best time. It was just a party. The whole night was a huge party. So
That's awesome.
Fun.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Well, now we know.
We do.
Officially know. We checked all the boxes, Pam. Are we officially ready to move on to confessionals?
I think so.
Let's do it. Pamela, you want to go first?
Yes.
Numero uno, confessional.
Yes. And
You
this
picked
is
a
a
long
long
one.
yeah, this is a long one.
I did this
Gave
for
yourself
you.
some homework.
I did this for you, Brooke.
Whew. And no like split and paragraph, just one big thing.
Yep.
Go
All right.
for it, girl.
Here we go. Dear Wedding Confessionals, first, thank you so much for this podcast. I spend 6 to 8 hours in the car every day, and it is one of my favorite things to listen to.
Pause. 6 to 8 hours in a car every day?
Where are you going?
Jesus, that's
And
a long
why?
time.
What? Yeah, that's a lot.
Sorry. So I'm glad we're entertaining you. And I
Yes.
hope you're listening to all the other podcasts and giving you suggestions because you have a long time in the car.
Yes.
Damn. Sorry. Continue.
Okay, so to get down to it, I am the youngest of 4 children and the only girl. My 3 older brothers are my best friends, and we are extremely close. My brother Alvin is the middle sibling and married his elementary school sweetheart, Jeanette, 11 years ago, and she is like the sister I never had. The youngest brother, Theodore, has an awesome girlfriend who I really get along with, but my older brother, Simon, got married last year. Wait, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore? This
Yeah,
is
this
amazing.
is happening.
I mean, I think they did fake names, which I appreciate because we tell them that it's going to be anonymous. And I like that in the process, they went with legit, not only Alvin and the Chipmunks, but also a Chipette.
Yes,
Jeanette's one of the
Jeanette.
Chipettes.
Yes.
That's freaking awesome.
This is amazing. All right. So Simon.
By the way, I'm now visualizing that they're all chipmunks.
Yes.
Continue.
And I will continue to do so.
Simon got married last year to a girl who things are complicated with. I have only ever been to 2 weddings before, but I have never seen a bride act as she did. Everything leading up to the wedding was extremely frustrating and unnecessarily complicated. A week before the wedding, the bride asked me to give up my hotel room for the hair and makeup person, which meant kicking my boyfriend out at 5 a.m. When I asked where he would go, she said he could hang out into the lobby until we left for the wedding at 4 p.m. When I said no, she hung up on the phone on me, and turns out, of course, the makeup artist booked a room for the wedding to get ready because she's a professional, and cut to the wedding and the bride being a total monster. No one was allowed to ask her questions, but there were some things we really needed to know, such as who was taking her 8-year-old daughter back to the hotel after the wedding. I still don't know how she got back. We played a bridal shower game in the middle of the reception, which was very awkward. What? Awards were given out like a kindergarten graduation ceremony, and the music was terrible, so no one was dancing. Think Kenny Chesney meets Rob Zombie. Wow. All right. To make matters worse, no one was allowed to request any songs, so we were stuck with a melancholy hoedown while the bride was yelling at us to all line dance. I was ready to leave when it was time to cut the cake, and the bride pushed me out of the way and told me to get away from the cake. I was standing about 10 feet away.
I was away.
The night really came to an end, however, when my brother Simon's wife, Jeanette, asked the DJ to play a special song she had picked out for the new bride to welcome her into the family, but the DJ was under strict orders not to accept any requests, so she approached the bride to get permission. The bride gave a firm no, and then exclaimed that everyone was ruining her big day. This simple act tipped the boat, and all the tension that had been building up suddenly burst. Harsh words were exchanged, and a lot of feelings were hurt. Everyone was upset. My sister-in-law was crying. The bride was angry. My brothers were fighting. Guests were leaving. My mother ran away from the wedding and disappeared for about an hour. I went back to the hotel, slipped through a side door, left early in the morning, and after this, my family did not speak for almost a year.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness.
The ice is beginning to thaw between everyone, but it is still a wedding which must not be named. From No Hoedowns for me, please.
Oh my God.
Wow.
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 All bad.
Every part of this is bad.
I know.
I mean, the hair and makeup person's a pro and got her own room.
That's good.
That's good.
At least the bride made a good choice there.
Yeah. A DJ. It doesn't sound like it's a DJ's fault, though.
I'm stuck on the bridal shower game.
Yes.
No, not a game. Like, did you play like Duck Duck Goose in the middle of your wedding?
Here's the thing.
Like, what's in my purse?
Yeah.
Like, what?
If I had to
probably
do a sad line dance to Rob Zombie versus play some weird game in the middle of a wedding, I guess the game?
Yeah, I'll take the game for $500, Alex.
Oh my gosh. So what I am really confused about, and I mean, I guess just enough things were going on, but the idea that in the end, the fight that happened blew up the whole family, that everyone isn't speaking.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well, I mean, it sounds like only the, I don't know. It sounds like only the bride was kind of the monster, right?
Are they still married?
I mean,
Good question.
I guess so.
I mean, gosh, that's a lot.
This is a lot. I mean, wow, that's a lot. I'm glad that things are starting to thaw. Good God.
But she said the boyfriend could wait in the lobby until 4 p.m.
That's rude.
Hey, ma'am, 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. You carry the one and bring the decimal point up. That's a long time for someone to wait in the lobby.
Yes.
Girl.
That's a long time.
That's a long time.
Also, it's hair and makeup. Why can't he just sit in the room with you?
Yeah, why did they need their own special?
Why can't they come into your room to do hair and
type
makeup?
of winged eyeliner is this? That's a lot. That's
This is
too
odd.
much.
Yeah. I mean, basically, if you're wondering if this is outlandish and ridiculous, you are correct.
It is.
Yeah. All of this was fucking weird.
Very.
It sucks that this one person, though, really kind of like tore up a family.
Yeah, like
The chipmunks will never be the same.
They
ever.
broke up.
So we're not getting another movie? I'm so confused.
No, this sequel has been
It's
canceled.
over? Oh my gosh. The last one
chipmunks.
was so good.
Well, I hope that you don't. Is this person getting married? No, she just listens to the
She
podcast.
said, and
Yeah.
she said, no hoedowns for me.
Yeah.
Hold down.
You know what though? You're gonna learn your lesson from this nightmare wedding, and your wedding will be fantastic.
Yes.
Whenever you plan it, because this is no bueno.
And still have a hoedown, a good hoedown.
So, like at the end of the day, if people make suggestions to your DJ, let it go.
It's not that big of a deal.
not that big of a
And listen, the
deal.
DJ is a huge part of your wedding. We played no love songs at my wedding. None.
Really?
I didn't want sleepy people. Again, I thought of my wedding from the guest lens.
Yeah.
We played all upbeat, like 90s R&B and hip hop
Yeah.
the entire time. Like I wanted people eating and dancing at the same time.
Wiggling at their table.
Yeah, because they get sleepy and then they leave early and then all your open bar money is down the drain.
Bang for your buck.
Yes,
think
so
I
like
I'm
it.
here for a good hoedown, but I mean, not a lot of Kenny Chesney and Rob Zombie though.
That's a weird duet.
Yeah. Very.
Okay, on to number 2. You
Yeah.
guys ready?
Yes.
You're up.
Dear Wedding Confessionals, hi ladies, I love your podcast and listen weekly. I'm currently dealing with some shitty relatives and need some advice. Well, I already like that you brought a curse word. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
My fiance and I have had a long engagement. We booked our venue 2 years ago and notified all of our families / extended families a year and a half ago at our engagement party of the place and the date. Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah.
My 3 cousins have 6 children altogether, and I did not want to leave anyone when it came time to pick the ring bearers and flower girls, so I found a way to involve each of them. My wedding is in 1 week, and my cousin's wife is making my life a living hell. At the time of my engagement party, she was pregnant, and now her baby is almost 1 year old. She has 2 boys that are ring bearers in the ceremony. She has been texting me nonstop demanding that I allow the bridal suite at the venue to be used for her children to hang out in and for the baby to sleep in during the reception. The other 4 kids from the bridal party have arrangements to leave during the cocktail hour and go back to the hotel, as I made it very clear that it was adults only for the reception. Okay. My
for her.
fiance and I have paid a lot of money for the venue, and he is angry that they would even have the nerve to demand to use the bridal suite at their leisure all night. It also doesn't help that I have paid for all the tuxes / accessories for all of the kids.
Oh God, no.
Their parents did not offer to pay for anything. She has texted me 8 times in 2 days, implying that I am inconsiderate and inconveniencing her.
What?
The hotel for the wedding is 5 minutes away, but she said that it's not fair for her to have to leave the wedding to situate her children. She also said that she feels uncomfortable with anyone other than her or her husband driving the kids to the hotel. I've tried giving her alternatives, but she will not take no for an answer. To top it all off, she is a wedding planner for a living.
Girl, bye.
Plot twist. Please help. I cannot handle the stress from bride or babysitter.
I have it. She's pissed that she's not the wedding planner.
That's probably what it is. You didn't hire her, and
Yep.
she hasn't. If you would have hired her, you wouldn't have to deal with her children.
Oh my God.
I have a simple answer. She can deal or push. Those are her options.
Deal or push.
Deal or push.
I'm getting married regardless. I didn't even have a ring bearer or a flower girl for my wedding. The show went on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
me
what
neither.
it is. She's something else.
Yeah, figure it out. It's not your deal.
Yeah,
If
it's
you don't
your children.
Like
like
a wedding planner?
oh my God.
I cannot.
And texting the bride and saying she was inconsiderate and inconveniencing her.
for her children. Girl, these children came out of your uterus, not mine. What are we talking about?
You know, I think it's good that the bride from the get-go has been like, here are the rules I have
Yeah.
in place. The kids are going to be at the wedding, but I would like an adults only reception.
Mm-hmm.
Other people have made plans. You've given them all the time in the world to figure it out. I think you're
Yes.
trying your best to have what you need, but also be acknowledging other people's needs. So I think I don't think you're being a dick.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't feel guilty. I think you're trying to set it up. There are plenty of times where people hire babysitters just to take care of kids during the situation.
I mean, a year and a half. She gave you a year and a half to find a babysitter.
Yeah.
Care.com.
Took you that long to cook up the baby.
I
mean-
know. I mean,
true.
golly. You maybe. Wow. That's a lot.
So she says, please help. So I think that you, first of all, I know this sounds mean, and maybe I'm being a little dramatic.
No,
Okay.
Does she block this number on her phone?
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah, just start ignoring.
Yeah,
I mean,
ignore her.
You've given all of the answers. She's saying no. You clearly can't do it for
Yeah.
her. She's got to come up with it.
Yeah,
sounds
I
like-
would put my foot down. That sounds like a personal problem.
Yeah, my wedding is 1 week. So you're a week away from your wedding. You got to put this girl on block. Anything really important would come from her husband anyway, your brother, right?
Yeah.
This is her
And
sister-in-law.
backfill her seat because you need that. 'Cause I'm just saying.
And as a wedding planner acting like this, though, she should know not to stress out the bride and what the bride can. That does not make sense.
It's very selfish. And at the end of the day, you don't need selfish people around you when it's your wedding.
I just don't. This whole thing is bizarre to me.
Yeah, because even if that girl figured it out with her kids, I would still be salty about it, that you were that selfish about it. And yeah, how about you just don't come and then you have a sitter?
Well, that's what I think. Also, you know what? Let's
birds,
say
one
you
stone.
are one of these super protective parents and you aren't comfortable. Then
Sure.
it's like, listen, I understand that you're not comfortable, so you will not be attending the reception, and no
There
hurt
you go.
feelings.
Yeah.
If that's what makes you comfortable as a parent, okay,
I'm fine with it.
yeah,
Backfill seat.
right,
I'm just big on that.
Exactly.
Don't waste the liquor, ma'am.
yes. Find a person.
Find a
Pull,
person.
pull somebody up from JV squad.
Yeah,
put them on
that's
varsity.
fine. They will be happy to come. I'm
Yes,
telling you.
Yeah.
and they won't bother you.
They
They'll just
won't.
say thank you.
They'll be at the bar
Yes.
with their champagne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that also you need to talk to your brother. Talk to
Hello.
your brother and be like, you need to talk some sense into your wife.
Yeah.
This is too much.
Have her quit calling me.
Block
Yeah.
that number. I'm not kidding you.
I would.
Send
I'd
her
block-
one last message and be like, this is our last conversation about this. This is what I can do for you. If you would like some recommendations for babysitters or other things, here are my friends that are dealing with that.
Care.com.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep, girl. There's so many options nowadays.
is it even in the town where they live?
I don't know.
It's just so selfish to me. Like I would if I was the bride, I wouldn't even care about the kids. You're just so that sounds horrible. But like you're just so selfish to bring that up right now the week before my wedding.
Ugh. Yeah.
Hire someone. Leave
Yes.
them at home.
And if you are
One of you
weirdly
stay at
protective,
home.
then pay somebody to fly out with you. Like, if you
Yeah.
really are
Yes.
that concerned.
Or do it yourself.
do it
Be
yourself.
it, like you said, at the ceremony, say no to the reception, say bring me back some cake. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
That's fine.
And also, like, if you bring your kids to the reception, you're still parenting them at the reception.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? It's
I'm,
like,
I'm
come
not
on.
a fan of children at wedding receptions. I'm not. One, because I also found out with planning my own wedding that depending on the venue, they're the same price.
Yeah.
Like open bar is open bar. Like
Yeah.
3 years old or 32 years old, you still pay the same price per head. So yeah, we had 21 and up at my wedding.
The other thing that you should check into, not that you need to do this to like really cater to her at this point, but a lot of places that have bridal suites that are part of the complex do not allow children into those
don't.
spaces.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like sometimes it is a no-no,
Yeah.
and it's like, it's very specific what people can come in, and sometimes it really is just the bridal party
Blame
anyway.
it on the venue. Even
Yeah.
if they don't, at this point, a week out, oh, girl, the venue told me to
so
tell you
sorry.
that it's a no. Like, if
Yeah.
I could do something, I would. But, I mean, it's the venue's rules. Sorry.
Yep.
Everyone's happy.
Maybe that's the answer.
There we go.
Drop it on them.
I think, yep.
Lie.
And still block that number. Bye.
Yeah.
Yes, we're telling you to
You
lie.
can unblock the week after. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Block-
just a short time.
when you get back from your honeymoon, you hit unblock. There you
Unless
go.
they didn't get a wedding gift and then keep that ass blocked for sure. Because I've dealt with that.
Number 3, Korie, bring it to
That's
us.
me. Dear Wedding Confessionals, my fiance and I are currently planning our wedding. All along, he has said he wants us to write our own vows, which would be nerve-wracking enough if he hadn't already dropped the bomb that he's planning on using movie quotes in his. He thinks it will be funny, and I really, really don't. His idea is that he will say a quote, then give a little line about how it relates to us as a couple. He thinks it will be sweet and clever, and I think it will be horrifying. We've already been engaged for a year, and the wedding isn't until next June. Nothing I've managed to say to him has deterred him away from this stupid idea. Help. From How Important Are Wedding Vows Anyway? Listen, this one hits home.
Oh.
Really?
Yes, this one hits
Did
home.
you write this?
I should have. I figured mine out, though. So my current husband, he's a husband now. He wasn't a husband then. He was a fiance then. Wanted to rap his wedding vows because he's a hip hop artist. And it was a firm hell to the gnaw for me from when he first mentioned it to where he continuously mentioned it. Definitely not. And I went to threatening because that's who I am as a person. I said, if you begin to rap and I'm up there, I'm just going to walk away. How about that? I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah.
So you do your vows first, and
Sure.
I'll follow. And if there is any inclination that you are going to start rapping, I'm just going to walk away.
And that ball gown's big. It takes a minute.
Yeah,
it's
it
going to
does.
be dramatic.
And I had to go
Yeah.
like upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm leaving. Bye. I just made it very, very clear to him. Hey, the ceremony is a very serious type of situation for me. We can be playful and, have a good time. Because I had some, funny things in my wedding. Like, I think I said something like, I vow to always get drunker than you at brunch, because I do. Like, we can be funny, but it's a serious moment. And I don't want to quote other people's love stories. I want to quote our love story. And if it's a quote from a movie or a song or something, that's not about us. It may be similar to us, but that's not us. So it took a long time to get him to understand that, but eventually he saw it my way, as he always does. And it worked out.
Well, I do think that's a big point about it, is that the idea of him doing some sort of rap hurt your feelings because you
Yeah.
thought it was diminishing the seriousness of like you committing to him in front of
ceremony.
your
Absolutely.
family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it was the idea of, hey, if you do that, it hurts my feelings.
Yeah. And do you really want to hurt my feelings
Just for you to have a fun whim.
on our wedding day, day
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
That's how you want to go into it?
Yeah.
That's
do you
exactly
think?
how I did it.
I agree. I think for me, it wouldn't bother me, and I wouldn't have been surprised because my husband is very into movies, and it wouldn't surprise me if that had slipped into our vows.
And he's a total funny dude.
Yes. But, I get it. There's two people there. And if it really, really is a no, like strong, hard no for you, then you really have to draw the line in the sand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that on top of you telling him that you don't think it would be funny or cool, I think pointing out, like Korie was saying, the idea of, do you take this really seriously? And yes, we're excited to do this and it's fun and everyone's there and it's not fun. But at the end of the day, this is a vow.
Yeah.
It's a serious moment. It's a very adult thing. It's talking about your life and your commitment to each other.
Yeah.
And yes, you can add a little bit of lighthearted love in there, but still everything you do, especially during those moments where you're on that altar or wherever you are, Hubba, it should be an act of love.
Yeah.
And if it's something that's bringing insecurity or anger from your partner, like, really? Is that the result you were going
That's
for?
what you want? You know,
However,
you're just going to do it anyways.
On the other side too, though, she knows who she's marrying.
Very true.
And if you are marrying somebody who this is who they kind of are, then, you know, you also have to bring that as well.
Compromise.
I was going to say, is there a way to compromise where he's allowed to give like a fun movie-filled speech at the rehearsal dinner?
Yeah, and that's
Or a
what we
reception?
did. That's
Oh.
what we did. So my biggest thing was more of, I don't mind them being playful because our vows were playful. I really mind. What I minded most was it's not us. It's not our quote. Like, let's write our own story. Like, some of the funny things I said in my vows were about us. I do get drunker than you at brunch. This is what happens.
Can we go to brunch with Korie?
Yeah.
She sounds fun.
Good
Next Sunday.
It's on Melrose. It's awesome. Like, this is what happens. I do promise to fill your home with good food and sweet tea because that's who we are. So for me, it was more of, I want it to be us, and you wrapping our vows isn't us. That's you. And it's not just about you. It's about us. So that was my argument. And then we made a compromise that for the reception, you can go all out. If you want to perform a whole song, I will be your biggest groupie. But at the ceremony, let's keep it about us and more serious.
Did he do a song at the reception?
We were supposed to do one together, but we got a little drunk. So
Somebody didn't have dinner.
yeah, very true.
I think
One
that-
green bean.
Yeah,
I think
a
that,
compromise.
So we're all on the same page. Do a compromise of something
Yeah.
fun where you can have that fun somewhere else in the weekend or day or whatever, but then also really hammer home the fact that this literally hurts your feelings.
Yeah.
That
It's serious.
Yeah. I think that's
you.
cool. I don't think you're being controlling either. I don't think
don't
that's like
either.
a terrible request.
I don't either.
No.
Yeah. And so, yeah, find a way to incorporate his love of movies, just maybe not in that moment.
True.
But, like, do you really want like bride making a weird face at you while you're giving your vows? Like, what a terrible
Oh,
memory.
I have an idea, actually. It was
Okay.
something that I did at my wedding. We had personalized napkins, like bar napkins at the bar, and there were quotes on there from me and Chris. So the napkin either said from Korie, and then it said whatever the quote was, or it said from Chris, or the quote was. He could do that with his movie quotes. Like, if
That's
it's a
cool.
movie quote that he thinks applies to their relationship, do something personalized. Etsy is key for this. If you get on Etsy.com, you can do personalized napkins, or maybe even like table tents on the tables that have the quotes on them.
Cool.
Or don't forget about your bathroom doors or even your bathrooms. That's really important. Like, we put like baby pictures on our bathroom doors and like little signs.
I love that.
Yeah, like signs in the bathroom. Like, there's different ways to
I was
incorporate
gonna say,
quotes.
I saw fun. I went to a wedding once where in the bathroom there were fun pictures of
Yep.
the bride as a kid and as
That's
a
what we
teenager
did.
in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that's
we
fun.
put like a little basket of like feminine stuff, like hairspray and bobby pins and tampons and all types of stuff. And in the boys' bathroom, they had like shoe shining stuff or not paper clips, safety pins. Yeah. So there's all types of different ways you can personalize a wedding with
Yeah.
quotes, and it doesn't have to be the vows.
Yeah, I like that. So you're inspired. You're not saying no. You're just
Yeah.
saying find a creative yes.
Find a different way.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Well, that's all the confessionals, guys.
That's it.
Yeah. Moving on to bridal breaks. Okay, Pammy.
Yes.
What I'm excited for this bridal break because I already know what everyone's gonna do. And we've got quite the theme.
We
but
do.
We're definitely starting with you first.
All right.
Okay, go for it. Oh wait, bridal breaks.
Yeah. What are they?
Bridal breaks, for anyone listening to the show for the first time, are suggestions we give not only to brides, but anyone helping to plan a wedding of fun things to do that have nothing to do with weddings, so you can enjoy your life. So do these fun
Take your
things.
mind off weddings for a second.
Take your mind off of the terrible Kenny Chesney and Rob Zombie playlist you're trying to
Yes.
make, and do these things. Okay, Pammy is going to go first.
Okay, so I found today's cocktail on taylorbradford.com. And because we are finally into fall, this one really caught my eye. And
Okay.
of course, it's sweet. This is a caramel apple moonshine.
Ooh.
Yes, please. Apple juice, apple cider, cinnamon, cloves, brown sugar, white sugar, all right, a lot of sugar, 10 caramel candies, then moonshine and caramel vodka.
What do you do with the caramel candies?
Yeah.
They melt in.
Oh,
That's exciting. Lovely.
I like this.
All of it.
Yeah. What's it called again?
Caramel apple moonshine.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Presents for everyone.
Love it.
So, Korie, tell me all about your bridal break.
So my bridal break is I have gotten really, really, really into wine. Yes.
Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Well, especially if you're a foodie that went to culinary school.
Yes, it's
you're
so great
yeah.
to pair wine with everything.
For sure.
It could even be a granola bar. I'm fine with it.
Bowl of cereal.
So being a working woman, and you're always working, and it's hard to, just take a break and find some really good wine. Wine clubs have become my everything. So I just joined a new one, and it is nakedwines.com, and they are amazing. If you're a first-time member, they give you like $100 voucher off of your first box, and the boxes are only like $160, and you get 9 bottles of wine with that.
Wow.
Yeah,
How
so-
often do they come?
You can set it up for how often you want. I get twice a month because, that's my life.
No judgment here.
That's fine. But I think most people do once a month. But yeah, you can do 9 bottles of wine, and you can either do a red and white mix or a white box or a red box. I, of course, did the all red box because that's my life. And it is amazing. The majority of the wines are from like overseas. I had an Australian Shiraz earlier today. That was amazing. I'm going to have a South African red blend tomorrow. Can't wait. So yes, that is my bridal break wine.
Yes, that sounds like a really wine clubs.
Yes.
That is
Yes,
Fun
please.
times.
That is the devil. Oh man. They just keep this magically showing up wine at your house. Like,
It's
what a
just-
gift.
And it gets there the very next day.
like
Like
Santa
I ordered
comes
it, and it
twice
was
a month.
the next day. Crazy.
That sounds wonderful.
I know.
Yes.
And keeping with the theme, I end up doing booze too.
All right.
Just because I had this drink last night just on a whim. Tristan literally just said, we were watching football, and he goes, I don't know, just make me something that's not a Negroni. Go nuts. And I was like, okay.
Oh.
So I dig through our fridge, see what was around, and I ended up I was like, I want to try some mezcal. It's been a while. So it's like a smoky tequila kind of, it's a type of tequila,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Mezcal is a type of tequila, so it's like that smoky taste. And the drink that I got was from cookieandkate.com, which, Pam, you've done drinks from them before too. And it's called a mezcalita. And it's mezcal, orange juice, lime juice, orange bitters, and this like orange liqueur. And then the rim is tahine with the
Oh.
mezcal. So it's like smoky, but it's got the sweetness and then the spicy of the tahine.
That sounds amazing.
sounds really
It's
good.
like, and I gave it to Tristan, and I didn't tell him what it was. I just gave him the drink, and he's not even that big of a mezcal drinker, but because there's so much stuff going on in there, he just took one sip. He's like, "This tastes expensive." He's like, "This would be like really pricey in like a
Yes.
fancy cocktail bar," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah,
Wait till you get the bill.
It's coming.
that'll be $27."
Don't forget my tip.
So yeah, so my bridal break is also booze, and it is the mezcalita. So
I
guys,
like
we're getting
it.
people wasted this week.
Yes. Love it. I support it.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yay.
Yay! Pammy, we have one last thing to do,
We do.
and it's for us to plug all of our stuff. Korie,
Yes.
tell me what you want to plug today.
Let's plug my amazing husband. So he is a hip hop artist. His name is Mac Fame, MAC space FAME. He is on all social media streaming sites, or not social media streaming. He's on all social media sites, plus all streaming sites like Apple Music, Tidal, anything you can find his music on. He has an album that came out this year that's doing really, really good.
Yeah.
So yay, go check him out, Mac Fame.
I love it.
All right.
Mac Fame.
Yeah.
Oh man, he sounds like a dreamboat.
He's cool. I'm gonna keep him.
He picks up those socks now.
Yeah, no, not really.
Pammy,
Yes.
I want to tell everybody a little bit more about our show.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
We do this in the form of a quiz. Korie, you're going to watch Pam get quizzed about our show.
Love
Look, at
it.
you just like stretched your like head, like stretching your neck.
No,
like
I'm
an
shaking
athlete.
it.
Oh, I thought you were like when a boxer gets into the ring and is like warming up. Yeah, do you
Right,
need to do
let's
some
do it.
stretches?
Yes.
Okay, Pam.
Yeah.
You can find more information about our show, including show notes, at what website?
WeddingConfessionals.com.
We are on social media. Where can you find us?
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest.
Pinterest is now back
it.
in the list.
Yeah.
We want you to send us your confessionals.
We do.
Please.
Keep them coming. We
Yes,
love them.
we adore them. There are 3 different ways. One
Yes.
is an email. Where do you send the email to?
weddingconfessionals@gmail.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail. From there,
Sure.
we will transcribe what you tell us so
Yes.
that you'll never hear your voice or change names.
Yep.
That phone number is 434-933-2663, 434-933-2663. The third way, which is our most popular, Pam, is to go to what website?
weddingconfessionals.com.
And hit on what tab?
tell us your secret.
Tell us your secret. From there, no email, no phone number needed. Just
Nope.
a simple form.
Yeah,
Put in your name,
maybe.
or fake name, or whatever you want, and then the little box underneath, you type in all the shit that's going on in your life, and then you hit send.
Whatever you need to share.
Alvin, Simon, Theodore, send.
Jeanette.
Jeanette. That's amazing.
Hilarious.
That's amazing.
So yeah, send us your confessionals. We are available on Apple Podcasts /iTunes.
Yes.
They love us to remind you to hit subscribe, give us 5 stars, leave us
Please.
a rating and a review. Besides Apple Podcasts, Pam, we are on a couple of different podcast providers that, for my convenience, I have put in alphabetical order.
Just a couple.
I have requested that you memorize them because I'm mean. You've gotten pretty good at it, and I like it. I like how we're watching you grow as a person. So besides Apple Podcasts,
Not feeling strong today.
in alphabetical order, we did give you a lot of wine and no snacks.
Yep.
True.
What are the other podcast providers? Apple Podcast.
Castbox.
Yes.
Castro.
Yes.
Downcast.
Yep.
Google Play.
Yes.
iHeartRadio.
Yep.
What the hell?
I did this wave last time and told you what it stood for.
Overcast.
Overcast. What's next? Never gotten this far before.
Let's see. It is.
Starts with a P.
I know it starts with a P.
There's a
Is
lot that start with a P.
It's oh man.
5, 4,
God, there's a countdown.
3,
It's not Pocket
2,
Cast.
1. Player FM.
Player FM.
Pocket Cast,
There we
Podbean,
go.
Pod Paradise, Podtail, Podcast Addict, Podcast Land,
Oh my
Podcast
gosh.
Republic, Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, and YouTube.
Yay!
Pretty good.
All right. Not
We're
as
gonna
bad
get
as
it down
I
to
thought.
we're gonna get it down to hand signals, and I'm gonna start.
Look like you're miming.
I know.
Korie, thank you so much for being on the
Thank you.
show.
Thanks for having me. I had a great
so
time.
fun. And
Yay.
Pammy, I will see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Special thanks to Andy Schreier for our adorable theme song,
And David Kantrowitz for our fantastic logo.
and Ramsey Millette and Brian Maylard for their technical support.
If you want to learn more about our show, where you gotta go, Pam?
Check out our website, weddingconfessionals.com.
That's it, girl. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.